Hey guys, it's Matt. Today is day 40 on testosterone, um, and these are going to be my ramblings for the day. Um, I have my next shot sometime this week once I figure out with my friend when they can come poke me in the butt. I've been meaning to learn how to do it in my thigh, just so that I don't have to stress out about being dependent on someone for a long time. And also, I feel like pretty vulnerable exposing my booty all the time, even though he's a good friend. I don't care. I'm not too shy about nudity things among people I know. Um, let's see, things that have changed. I have a little less acne than before, which is nice. Still have acne, but I've been making real effort to change my pillows and wash my face and all that jazz. Maybe it's working, maybe it's just because things are settling down a little after the first month. Um, let's see, what else? I'm not sure if I had this haircut last time. Maybe I did. Let's see, I feel like I'm slightly hairier. I shave every few days because I get some light hairs, nothing too significant, but enough that it looks a little weird if I don't shave it every few days. I don't have to shave every day or anything. I'm not like Sasquatch up in here. But other things, today at work I told everyone, hey, I know that a lot of you were introduced to me as Maddie, and I've been going as either one for a while, and that's confusing, but now I'd like to go as Matt, and most people in this town know me as Matt, so if that's okay, please call me Matt. I probably should have covered pronouns because, about 30 seconds after that, one of my other coworkers was like, she, talking about me, and I'm like, oh dear God. And this coworker was talking about, we were going around presenting some work and talking about ourselves for a meeting, and she was like, oh, uh, not explaining this very well. She was talking about how people can change and then they'll be perceived differently by their peers based on different aspects of themselves, like whether their morals change or their appearance changes. And she was like, for example, Matt here, Matt's still a Maddie deep on the inside. She blah blah blah. And I'm just like, you kidding me right now? But I mean, I know I can't expect everyone to understand, and I should have been ET Dub's gender. But it is pretty awkward when you're in a room full of I don't know, 15 people or so, and they're all staring at you, and you're also supposed to talk about your work immediately afterward and present yourself as a professional, which is not really the same as the personal context of talking about gender. So that was a thing. But it's cool because now in my day-to-day life, people call me Matt all the time, which makes me happy. And although it's weird for me to see Matt and my last name, I'm not going to say my last name, together because I'm used to just seeing Maddie and my last name together all the time. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting combination of letters. Um, but I really like Matt as a first name, and I feel like even if I wasn't taking testosterone, I would kind of want to be called Matt because Maddie just, something about it was always not quite right, and I feel people sense that because people would give me nicknames like Mud at just, I don't know, perhaps because Maddie didn't seem quite right for my personality, but whatever, I don't care, people can call me Maddie still, it's fine. Um, Other things, there's a cat in my house. I don't know if you can hear. We have a new cat. Well, it's mostly my roommates, and he cries a lot. Um, let's see. I've continued to work out a lot, still lifting weights a lot, making mad gains. Uh, but yeah, probably thanks to testosterone. it continues to get weirder and weirder every week to go into the women's locker room because I feel like they can sense that I'm uncomfortable and I'm just like I'm really trying not to look at you guys, like, I'm just trying to do my own thing, and they probably pick up on that as, like, why is this person being so weird in the locker room? Whereas, it feels safer for me to be there, even though it's uncomfortable sometimes, versus going into the men's locker room where everyone is, it's like a college gym, and everyone is, like, 6 foot whatever, good old boy, well, not good old boy, but you know, they're like college athletes and they're large men for the most part, except for like the tiny little freshmen that are sticks. Sorry, guys. But that's still something I'm navigating. I'm thinking perhaps if I start to pass at any point as male, I'll maybe take a week and go to a different gym and then come back and start using the men's, maybe just once, like, really quick, like, go in, use the bathroom, come out. But whatever, that's not that interesting. But what is interesting to me is that I still am read as female, like, 99.9% of the time. Even though in my work clothes are primarily, like, men's clothing, pretty boring office wear. But I think it's mainly my height. You can't really tell in this video perhaps, but I'm only 5'3", which is, or at least last time I checked I was, and I assume I haven't grown at all. But yeah, I almost always get rid of as female, and in my head a lot I'm like, why is this happening? Like, why do they keep calling me ma'am? Because ma'am is like a big thing here in North Carolina. People say ma'am all the time. I guess maybe that's just like a US thing, but I get ma'amed a lot. Every once in a while I get a they, and I'm like, oh, thank you, person that I don't know. Other changes on T, I can't really tell if my hairline is receding or if that's just because I cut my hair. Worth it. I'm not going to show you, but I feel like this has gotten a little smaller. But again, I'm not sure if that's because I'm working out or because of the tea or because maybe I just look at myself in the mirror differently. My parents are coming to visit soon, which is stressful because they might notice that I look or sound just a little different. I'm still on a pretty low dose, so things are going mega slow. But, so that's the thing. Every once in a while I get like a little scared just because I have this weird relationship in my brain with like what it would be like to pass 100% as male, and that scares me just because I really like being visibly queer, as I am as someone who is read usually as like a really masculine lady person, even though that's not who I am. I feel like somewhere between genderqueer and trans guy, and neither of those is quite right in my brain. Like, I feel like I'm more masculine than genderqueer entails, in my head at least. I know other people have different readings of it, but I don't feel the deep desire to be read as a cis man 100% of the time, as I know a lot of trans men do. Like, I would like to be read as a man, maybe like, I hadn't really thought about this before I'm saying it, as maybe like 70% of the time, but then people are still like, oh, that person must be queer, or that person has something weird about them. But I guess the most important thing to me is that I'm not read as a lady, and that's that. Someone at my workplace used he as a pronoun for me today, and I was totally okay with that. That was fine. It was great. It felt better than she, for reals. Anyway, this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to end it, and hopefully I'll make another one after my next shot. And have a good night, guys. Oh, BT dubs, I turned 22.